it's $274. This RAM was $85 just 120 days ago. That's a 222% increase in price in 120 days, or in other words, an average of 1.85% per day.
You're fucking over your consumers by doing this, though, and if another good brand comes out and stabilizes pricing and focuses on the retail market, it's a good way to get into business. Yeah, but they're okay fucking over their quote-unquote consumers because their actual consumers that they want to market to are businesses. So why would they give a fuck? Why would they give a fuck about this, right? They'll say, okay, yeah, our consumers might be fucked over. We're going to do business-to-business stuff. And then any new manufacturer that comes up, nobody's going to want to actually want to be a manufacturer for consumers, like customer. Are consumers different than businesses, or can businesses be consumers? Like if you do B2B, do you consider those guys your consumers or just your customers? Consumer market versus business market? I don't know. There's more official words for this, but like you probably just don't give a fuck, right?
Increase. This 128 gigabyte kit was $300 and is now $964 at Best Buy and B&H, an increase of 220%. Or if you prefer, a 3.2x increase. This is something a home workstation user might have relied upon for things like CAD engineering, Blender, video production, 3D modeling, game development, whatever. Now it's moving away from solo operative affordability and back into the realm of only corporate buyers. And it's not alone. This kit of 128 gigabyte DDR5 5600 was $420 and is now the result of smoking it at $1,000 on Newegg. And on the affordable consumer side, this kit of 32 gigabytes DDR5 5600 CL46, basically some of the worst memory you could buy, was $83 and is now $261, or an increase of 214%. This Crucial Pro OC DDR5 6000 CL36 kit was $90 and is now $300, up 230%. This kit was $43 and is now $118, thoroughly screwing the consumer of lower-end budget parts. And that's without getting into laptops so dim memory, where Crucial is a prevalent and had been an important force. These companies are fucking over normal people. It's been happening for a while now, yes, but not like this. Now it's in the open. The corruption of the silicon companies is in the open. In our opinions, not only is our technocracy wrought with what we think is open corruption and conspiracy against consumers to consolidate and move this computing power into data centers and so-called AI, but also open with the United States government. Now, this story started about Micron, but it's sort of about everybody in the industry. NVIDIA reportedly gave $10 million to the Trump ballroom around the time it was in discussions about its export-controlled GPUs. That's without getting into its nearly $4 million in lobbying, such as for AI lawmaking, which again, AI is where Micron is focusing. Intel CEO got cucked by the president when he was publicly mocked and ridiculed, and just days later sold 10% of the company to the United States government as if through some kind of public humiliation fetish. AMD CEO Lisa Su has joined other tech billionaires like Gates, Zuckerberg, and OpenAI Sam Altman in frequently joining US government meetings to make decisions that we think fuck over the little guy next. Micron is just the next step in all of this. They write their press release in just the right way, where a few corporate bootlickers can defend them on Reddit by saying technically they're only exiting the crucial memory business and not consumer as a whole. But their motives are clear, and they're not really hiding them. We bring up the government because Micron has facilities in the United States, and they are frequently name-dropped on White House press releases. In June of 2025, the White House boasted of Micron's $200 billion of planned investment into fabs and R&D, such as in Idaho, where Micron says it's investing billions in domestic R&D. Micron said it's working on a mega fab in New York, further stating it intends to produce 40% of its DRAM in the United States. Micron chairman, president, and CEO Sanjay Mehrotra stated, quote, "We are grateful for the support from President Trump, Secretary Lutnick, and our federal, state, and local partners who have been instrumental in advocating domestic semiconductor manufacturing," end quote. And in the year of 2025, the PDA displayed between Micron and the US government would probably require an ID to view in 25 states. In fact, that Micron press release included quotes from CEOs Satya Nadella of Microsoft and Jensen Huang of NVIDIA, with the only difference being who's shoved their head up the ass of the government versus who has their hand up it. All of this might be because Micron took $275 million in additional funding from the United States government, part of the CHIPS Act disbursements that were promised under Biden and have continued to go out under Trump. In its latest 10-K form, Micron said it had received up to $6.4 billion in CHIPS Act grants across two administrations. Micron even gets local and state tax breaks, reportedly worth up to $2 billion on construction materials and property in New York alone, while normal people struggle to pay property taxes on their homes. Micron spends millions of dollars on lobbying, including more than $4